Loughcrew Hill's Oldcastle. Come on in and I'll show you.
Yeah.
We are now in Loughcrew Hills. This development has been called after the famous Loughcrew Hills, which are just out the road. Have you come in that way?
Yeah, I think we
drove in,
We drove in,
yeah.
Fabulous. So that's it on the front of the brochure there,
Yeah.
and that's the megalithic tombs up there. But anyway, we're here now in Loughcrew Hills.
Yeah.
These are 4-bedroom semi-detached homes. They're very spacious, and when we go through the house now, you'll see the height of the ceilings and the space in the rooms and that.
Yeah.
It's located in the town of Oldcastle, so it's within walking distance of everything.
Okay.
You know, shops.
Yeah, we
banks,
it's
schools.
literally 30 seconds up the road.
30 seconds up the road,
Yeah.
So you don't have to be getting expensive taxes or anything. So we're now in the hallway, as you can see. Spacious hallway. The stairs are not coming on top of you or anything at the door. This is very spacious. You can see the height there, if you can notice it in the ceilings.
Yeah.
And is the whole wheelchair accessible?
It is wheelchair. The house is constructed to the new building regulations, which is completely wheelchair accessible. There's a ramp outside the door, as you probably saw on the way in, and then the toilets and all are wheelchair accessible.
Oh, right.
We'll have a look at the house. We'll start off here in the sitting room.
Okay.
Great,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. God. It's a
Now
great
we're in the
size
sitting room.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
Fabulous.
Very
Yeah.
spacious,
Yeah.
very spacious.
The high ceilings really just give a great feeling of space,
Yeah.
don't they?
Such
Yeah.
a great natural light as well as 2 windows, which is
That's
beautiful.
right.
Yeah.
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 Great
Open
light getting into
fireplace
the
as
house.
And is the fireplace, is that included in the...
The fireplace is included. Yes, the fireplace is included. As I said to you there in the hallway, the house comes turnkey, so fireplace included. That's an open fireplace, but you can
Yeah.
set in your gas fire if you wish, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The house itself is oil-fired central heating.
Okay.
So it's oil-fired central heating. As I said, the house is well insulated, so the heating bills won't be too high.
What's the town like?
The town it's absolutely fabulous. The town stayed quiet for the last, since I grew up in it. Now, I grew up in this town here in Oldcastle. Very few people actually know about Oldcastle. A lot of people from Dublin never heard of Oldcastle.
Yeah.
It was a market town, and the town itself is situated at about an hour and 15 minutes drive currently from Dublin.
Yeah.
But there's a new motorway, which you probably saw on the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new
Yeah.
M3, that's halfway constructed now. The
Okay.
completion date for that officially is June 2010. However, they seem to be about 6 months ahead of schedule, so we'd all like to think that it'll probably open up around Christmas next year.
And how long then will the journey take?
From here, you're 10 minutes over the Loughcrew Hills, you're on the motorway. So you're a nice little distance tucked in off it, and from there you're about 30 to 35 minutes. So you're probably about 40 minutes from Dublin here. That's in a year and a half's time.
We both work in Dublin, so
We're stuck an hour to get home, even though it's
Right, well,
know, it's a long
okay, well,
journey, so.
when you get into the city, then you've got to make your own way, but you're going to be from this house
Yeah.
to, let's say, the M50, you're going to be about 40 minutes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yeah, and you hit the M50 in the middle there at Blanchardstown. So it depends on which direction you're going to work,
but that's
right?
just
Absolutely, yeah.
But you're in the middle of it there, yeah. So, so it's definitely commuting distance to
Yeah,
the city.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't be worrying if you're working in the city. Like this place here is going to be very accessible.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to, like, you know, work in the city and live in the country kind of thing. I like the idea.
That's the
of
best of
It
both worlds,
is.
don't you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're here in Oldcastle, you've got fabulous pubs.
Yeah.
There's fabulous pubs in here. Not
Restaurants,
saying that you want to be
is it?
drinking all the time,
No.
but there's lovely restaurants.
Yeah.
Several restaurants to choose from.
Yeah.
There's fabulous hotels here in Oldcastle. There's banks. There's supermarkets. There's a fabulous primary school, which was left to the town of Oldcastle by a man called Gilson. So there's no cost to the families of Oldcastle for this fabulous primary school called the Gilson Endowed School. And there was a brand new secondary school built here roughly 4 to 5 years ago. State of the art. So, and people from Dublin are welcome here in Oldcastle, and their children are welcome. Oftentimes people ask me, like, you know, what happens, like, you know, if we move down, will we be accepted? Will the children be accepted in the school? But open arms.
That's good to hear.
And it's very friendly when you go into the pubs or into the restaurants. People will talk with you, they'll speak with you. Oldcastle is a town that hasn't changed really, as I said, from I grew up.
Somebody waved at us coming in when we were
Yeah.
driving through the town,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
someone waved
yeah,
at us.
yeah.
We were like, "Oh,
They do.
that's-
People
yeah,
wave.
yeah.
really friendly, yeah.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's
We
so
know-
different
Yeah.
than Dublin, yeah.
Yeah, well, we would know most of the people in Oldcastle. It hasn't changed a huge amount over those years.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the towns around, there's an awful lot of housing. Here, there's very, very little house. There's only 2 or 3 housing developments in it altogether. And this is one of them. So what you find is that most people know each other. People are friendly. People wave to each other in the street. When you're driving around, if you don't wave in the car, like, what's wrong? Like, you know?
It's not overly populated either.
It's not overly populated. And the other thing about it is, it was a market town, but then it was a very entrepreneurial type of town. And over the last 30 years, there are several big industries around the Oldcastle area. So there's probably about 1,500 to 2,000 people working and employed around the Oldcastle area. So what you find here is that there's not enough houses to cater for the people who are employed in the area. So for instance, like, you know, there are engineering companies, there are bedding companies, you know, there are furniture factories, and people travel from Dublin and Navan and Cavan to work here in the town. And they've got to travel away then.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'd like to think that, say, in when this new motorway is constructed and finished, which is halfway there, like that the value of property will hold up, no matter what way the value of property is in Ireland. Like the fact that you're going to be about 40 minutes from the city here, and the house that you're going to see as we walk through it,
Yeah.
The space, you know.
space.
Yeah.
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 So
Just in terms of we're going into our fitness, like, what kind of amenities are for there?
I'll tell you what there are. There's a gym in Oldcastle. There's a fabulous gym down at the credit. There's a marvellous credit union that was built here about 5 or 6 years, brand new. There's a gym there. If you're into walking or running,
Yeah.
there's
yeah,
the
yeah,
Loughcrew Hills up there, which
Where
on the
we
brochure,
passed
those
away,
megalithic tombs are situated on top of it. There's 60 acres there, belonging to the Office of Public Works, where people can walk and run and bring their dogs out for a walk, and there's fabulous walks all around there. Then you've got Mullameen Forest Park, which is about 4 or 5 miles down the road, and you can run or get your bike out and do your trek and do whatever you want there through the forest. And that's one of the largest broadleaf hardwood forests in Europe. So that's quite close to you. And they've got the trails all the way through the forest. So from a fitness point of view, you've got gyms, you've got natural walking, you've got running, golf. There's golf on both sides. There's golf here in Mount Nugent, just down the road at Clover House Hotel, and then you've got golf in Virginia. You've got golf in Kells, the Headford, which is very well known.
Oh, yeah, no,
The Headford and Kells. So you're within 10 minutes drive of the golf course. So you're within 10 minutes drive of the golf course. As regards fishing, you've got Loughcrew, which is just down the road. Again, it's beside the golf course, 10 minutes drive. And that's one of the finest brown trout fishing lakes in Europe.
Very good. Julie's uncle Mick is into his fishing. Very good.
Very good.
Very good for the weekend.
Will we have a look at the kitchen?
Yeah, we'll have a look at the kitchen. Okay, carry on there.